So this first exercise is the Spider-Man lunge and knee driver. So you start in a plank, you bring up the outside foot into a lunge, then you bring the back leg up and bring the knee up as high as you feel comfortable. And if you are okay to jump, you've got no knee issues, you're going to do a little bit of a jump too. This is a great high intensity exercise with the jump and a great stretch for the hip flexors. Without the jump, it's still a great exercise for mobility and strength as well. So now you're going to do a similar exercise, get back in the plank, bring up the outside leg, and then the back leg is going to step forward into a lunge. Then you go back into the plank and then step forward into a lunge, keeping your back straight as you can when you're doing the plank and when you're doing the lunging. Again, this is great for hip mobility and leg strength. Also great for coordination as well. It's going to work out your brain. Also good for arm strength as well, as you have to do the plank. You have to hold your body up. It's good for that. So now we are going to do the standard crawl. So you squat down and you crawl all the way out, keeping your hips up, and you crawl back in, stand up straight, and do that again. If you want to, you can even add in a push-up here. Make sure you're squatting down every time. Your back straight and you're keeping your hips up. It's the main thing. And the next one is kind of similar, the inchworm. So this one you're just going to crawl out, but you're going to keep your legs straight. So this one's a little harder than the standard crawl, the squat to crawl. It's going to stretch out your hamstrings really well. And it has a little bit more pressure on your upper body, so it's good for strength. Now I'm going to do ice skaters. So you're going to jump to the side with one leg, bring the other leg back, and you can pull your arm to the side as well. So this is a great high intensity exercise, really good for the core, really good for legs. Again, if you've got any knee issues, don't do this one, leave this one out. Really good for getting your heart rate up, using your full body. So now we're going to do a dynamic plank. So it's just like a normal plank set up on your forearms, and then you're going to go up and down, alternating your arms. So you want to make sure your body is straight, so you're engaging your core, your hips are up. You're not sagging your hips, and you don't have your bum in the air either. Make sure your shoulders are back and you're looking straight toward the ground. You're not got your head up or your head down either. That way your neck will be in alignment. And jump squats or long jump. So if you've got any issues, you can leave this one out, but this is a great high intensity exercise for the legs. It's really going to get your quads working. But every time you jump, you want to land as softly as you can, so you're not putting too much impact on your knees or your shins. So just push-ups now. Have your hands in close to your shoulders. Make sure your hips are up, but you're not sticking your bum up, and your body should be straight like mine is here. So you're looking directly at the ground, you're not dropping your neck. And now we're going to do a Turkish get up. So this one's a little bit complicated to learn, but it's really good once you get used to it, and it's easy once you get used to it. So you're going to start by lying down. Have one leg straight and one arm up. The other leg's going to be out to the side, other arm out to the side. You're going to come up on your elbow, on your hand, your foot. Lift your hips up. Bring your leg back into a lunge. Stand up. Then you put your arm back up. Go back into a lunge. Hand down. Bring your leg through. And then you lie back down. And you can alternate sides, or you can do one side and the other, whichever you prefer. I'm alternating here. Same thing again, foot up, hips up, leg under, into a lunge, stand up, and back down the same way. Lunge, hand, leg through, lie down. So the reason you have your arm up for this one is if you want to add weight to this, you're going to be holding it with that hand that I've got in the air. So after you get used to this, you can add weight to it if you want. I'd start with 3 or 4 kilos and see how that feels, and then maybe you can go up to 5 if that's easy. But it's a really good functional full body exercise, and it's quite hard to do once you've done a lot of them, because it requires a lot of energy getting up and down off the ground, especially in a complicated movement. But you're going to stretch out your hips and use your legs, use your arms, use your butt all together, so it's a great movement. Doing without weight is pretty good too. Doing it with weight can be quite intense too. So now we're going to do a Cossack squat. So you have your legs wide and you go down on one side, bending one knee and straightening the other leg. So just go down as low as you feel comfortable at first, depending on your range of flexibility. But you want to have your feet flat when you go down and feet pointed out straight. The side leg can point out to the side, but the front foot needs to stay straight. Now we're just going to do a few variations of lunges. So this is a static lunge. This one's simple and easy, but does work the quads quite a fair bit. So it's a lot harder than it looks. Once you do a few rounds of these, you really feel it in the thighs. You can do one side and then the other with this. So I would start with this one, especially if you want to work strength. This is a great exercise if you don't have any weights. But you can also add weights to this too and just hold it to the side. As we have a lot of these exercises, you can add weights, but it's great to be able to do it without weights if you don't have access to them. And also when you're learning, always start without weight for these kind of exercises. So this is jumping lunges. So if you want a higher intense exercise, this is a great one to do. If you do this for 45 seconds, you're really going to feel it in the legs. If you have any knee issues, do not do this one. Do the static lunges, or do these ones. So this one is just a lunge and a rotation. So you lunge and you rotate towards the side of the front leg. This one's great with weight as well. You can have like a medicine ball and hold that. But if you don't have weight, you can just do this to get started with. I would do this one if you're a beginner.